Okay, time for a new video. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. This is yet another Eurovision 2026 related video here on my channel, and today I am finally going to be talking about UMK 2026, which is Finland's national selection with regards to the upcoming edition of the ESC, which as we all know will take place this May in Vienna, Austria. As always, you're welcome to let me know your thoughts on anything I discuss in today's video by leaving a comment down below, and as always there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. So this isn't really going to be a reaction type video at all, because I'm already quite familiar with the songs involved in this year's edition of Uuden Musiikin Kilpailu. I do have some information in front of me to make sure I don't forget anything too important. So UMK has been the selection method for Finland for a number of years, and it's only really been in the past few years where the quality has really ramped up noticeably. This has gone from being, in many ways, just another national final on the Eurovision calendar to being a pretty big event, a pretty big deal, a show that a lot of Eurovision fans are very much invested in. Now, a lot of Eurovision fans are very excited every year when we start getting news about who the participants could be, and then we're quite excited when we get the official announcement, and then the songs are released one per evening over the course of a week or so, and usually the quality is very high, the diversity is definitely sometimes there, and every song, when it's released, is getting a reasonable amount of buzz. And it's very often the case, I would say, that with UMK, there are no poor songs, really. Yes, there will be songs that maybe aren't your cup of tea, but on the whole, it's a pretty strong batch. And when I look at other national finals, and yes, not every national final has a similar format to UMK, admittedly, but the quality isn't there. The diversity perhaps isn't there. The songs feel stale or dated, and then when we get the live performances, we're left very underwhelmed. It all feels a bit lackluster. And when you look at UMK, which takes place in a pretty swanky, modern venue, pretty big stage, the staging for the songs over the past few years has been pretty darn decent, if you ask me. It really feels like a slick operation. It doesn't feel shoddy. And one of the great strengths of UMK, in my opinion, is that every performance, I think, is doing its absolute best to stand out and make an impression and get people on board, and they're thinking ahead to Eurovision itself. How many times have I damn well said this on my channel? You have to be in it to win it. You can't go on stage, really, and give a half-finished performance, if you see what I mean. You've got to go out there and show people, if I go to Eurovision, I'm ready for it. I have great staging, I can already sing well live, I'll tweak a few things before May, and once I'm there on stage, I'm going to give it my absolute best, and hopefully the points will pour in. If at a national final you're not quite impressing, it's okay, because there are many weeks before the competition in May to improve things. But I think it really helps if you've already got a ready-to-go performance. And I think over the past few years in Finland, the national final contenders that we've had, pretty much all of them, I think, have had staging that is Eurovision ready in a sense. And it's very impressive. This is a country that wants to win again. It shows. Every year for the past few years, absolutely. The quality has ramped up, the production has ramped up, more and more Eurovision fans are following this event. You could say it's the biggest national final on the continent. Forget Melfest, which, yes, Sweden can sort of get away with anything and probably finish in the top 10 most years at the contest in May. But when you look at Melfest, yes, it lasts several weeks. Sometimes there isn't a great deal of diversity. A lot of the artists, I think, are relying on backing vocals, backing tracks, backing musicians, whatever you want to say, to do the heavy lifting. Certainly I feel that way. And also, a lot of the time you can predict what's going to happen in Melfest because the names that have been involved before are likely to be the ones who progress straight to the final in Stockholm. Certainly this year we have seen that. And then some other national selections, for whatever reason, things can feel stale, they can feel plain, they can feel underdeveloped, if you see what I mean. Let's go through them. I know I'm rambling here, but I had a feeling this video would turn out this way. Albania's national selection, whole bunch of songs. I wouldn't say the quality was terribly high myself. Certainly with Albania, the diversity is not really there in my opinion. Who else had a national final? Well, Croatia. Yeah, a little bit underwhelming maybe. Denmark, not too bad this year. Estonia, yeah, generally not too bad. Greece, that ended up being very much a one-horse race. Now, admittedly, UMK this year, you could absolutely say is a one-horse race, which isn't always good. It means that it's perhaps not going to be the most competitive show. And yet, there is always the faint possibility, of course, that something could happen that we're not expecting. Maybe the song that everybody is touting as the one to beat ends up not getting that huge a score. It ends up being a much closer result. The point I'm trying to make here is that the Greek national selection, I think in the end, everybody knew what was going to happen, and therefore it felt a bit underwhelming. And also, Ferto was the winner, but I don't think it really had much competition. Whereas in Finland, yes, we have a major frontrunner, but actually it does have competition. Any of these songs could win, really. Then we have Latvia, Lithuania, 40 songs. Now, to me, that's too many, because in the end, only 3, 4, maybe 5 are capable of winning. So just have, perhaps, one show with the very best. I get it, because you want to show off all of these musicians, you want to show off Lithuanian music, etc., etc. But at the same time, we know most of these songs aren't going to be anywhere near victory. So should they really be involved in the first place? I don't know. Luxembourg, yeah, they definitely don't have many songs involved, but the quality isn't really there, for whatever reason. Malta is generally disappointing, let's be honest. Moldova, it was better this time around, but again, it felt very much like a one-sided affair. Montenegro, yeah, that was okay. Norway, yeah. MGP has been really stinky over the past few years. In fact, I don't think the quality has been that high for a very long time. And unfortunately, we could have a situation later this week where somebody who has already done Eurovision twice ends up winning and representing Norway for a third time. And I'm just thinking to myself, dear me, why? There's better options. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Poland's national selection, nobody seems to be talking about at all, so that tells you everything you need to know. Portugal, shite show, because most of the artists don't want to do Eurovision. Then we have Romania. That's a shite show as well, because there's only a jury vote. So the favourite with the fans, which is a song called Choke Me, probably isn't going to end up being picked by this jury. San Marino, I don't think anybody really follows that particular selection too closely. The quality isn't generally that high. Serbia is so-so. Sweden, a lot of people criticise Melfest, but as I said earlier on, they can sort of get away with it and get a top 10 result at the competition in May most years. And Ukraine, it's a similar deal there. You know, the quality might not be terribly high in Vidbir, perhaps, but we all know Ukraine only have to turn up, and they are pretty much guaranteed a top 10 finish. Anyway, that was a massive sidetrack. The point I'm trying to make here is that we have all of these countries having national finals, but Finland are going about it, I think, in the absolute best way. Quality over quantity, songs that feel fresh and original and perhaps quite current, and sometimes you get a song and you might think to yourself, this doesn't really have broad appeal. This is really only going to appeal to a select few viewers in May. And I feel with Finland, yes, sometimes they have entries that maybe, upon first listen, we might think to ourselves, they're only going to appeal to a select few people who really listen to this style of music. But actually, certainly over the past few years, I would say, every song in UMK is warmly embraced, pretty much, by the Eurovision fans. We're all on board with every track, no matter what style it is. And I think that's a little bit of the magic coming into play there with this particular national final. Anyway, my word, maybe you can understand what I'm trying to get at here. I am rambling for the ages. Long story short, this is the 14th edition of UMK. It's taking place this Saturday, February the 28th, which is a bumper Saturday in the world of the contest. It's being held in Tampere. There was a submission period, which was only open for about a week. So, you know, you've got to get in there straight away pretty much. There were 491 received submissions, which is a record, and a panel of 9 experts appointed by the broadcaster alongside 5 audience juries selected the 7 tracks involved. There are a bunch of names in front of me. I won't go through them. I'm always a bit wary of music professionals and how they vote and what they think about various songs, because sometimes I'm thinking to myself, you call yourself a music professional, what the hell was that voting? We've all thought that at one point or another. But in Finland, these music professionals clearly know what they're doing, because, to me, this really does feel like they opted for the absolute best 7 they could. These strongest songs out of the near 500 that were received. And I'd be very interested to know which songs didn't make the cut. Anyway, they were all revealed over the course of a week or so in January. The lineup is as follows. You'll have to forgive my pronunciations here. Opening the show this weekend is Komiat with Lululei. Etta is song 2 with $1 Million Smile. Song 3 is Rakkauden Kippi by Kiki. Song 4 is Takatuka by Antti Paalanen. Song 5 is Cherry Cake by Chachi. Song 6 is Ready to Leave by Sinikka Monte, and Song 7 is the absolute hot favourite. It is so far ahead in the odds, not that the odds really matter too much, but this is such a clear favourite that if anything else was to win, we could absolutely call it a major upset. Finland are first in the betting odds at this moment in time to win the whole contest, and it's because of this song, Liekin Heitin by Linda Lampenius and Pete Parkkonen. What a hot duo. Now, what I'm going to do is briefly go through each track and give you my thoughts on each one, but again, I probably will ramble significantly here, so do bear with me. Lululei. This is very nice. Let's see what it says about the group. They have been making music for nearly a decade. They've released 2 albums, including one last year. Aleksi Ili-Sissala is the main vocalist, alongside Samuel Järvinen. They performed as the opening act for Katri Helena's farewell concert in Helsinki last August, Katri Helena having represented Finland at Eurovision in the past. The ensemble has won the Finnish Dance Orchestra Championship in 2018, and they are known for their strong accordion sound and boisterous atmosphere. Now, I have a video loaded up here and ready to go. This is ESC Samuel's top 7. The ranking doesn't really matter, though, here. So, yeah, in the music clip, and this is another strength of UMK, the fact that we get the songs 1 per day, so we can listen to each track, digest it, understand it, take a look at the lyrics and all of that stuff, and then the next day, here comes the next track. They're not all released at once, which I actually think is a real strength of this competition. And, yeah, the music videos as well are generally pretty good, very enjoyable to watch. So in this clip, everybody's waving white handkerchiefs. Yeah, this is definitely the most traditional song of the bunch. And in a lot of national finals, we may not get any songs whatsoever that feel authentic or true to the nation, if you see what I mean. Whereas this one, I suppose it does feel traditionally Finnish, I guess. It's up-tempo, it's folky, It's happy. It's going to put a smile on a lot of people's faces. It's opening the show. It's a pretty strong effort. It's just not terribly competitive. Now, it's worth saying that the public have more of a say than the jury in UMK. I think it's a 60-40% split, but I could be wrong. Let me double check this. Yes, I think it's a 60-40% split. Oh no, it's a 75%-25% split. The 25% comes from international juries. Now, at the time of this recording, we don't know who the international juries are going to be just yet, but within the next 48 hours or so, we are bound to find out. The viewers have 882 points to award. The juries have 294. I suppose that will be more or less, depending on if the number of international juries is higher or lower this year, or exactly the same. The viewer vote was based on the percentage of votes each song achieved through telephone, SMS and app voting. For example, if a song gets 17.5% of the viewer vote, then that entry would be awarded 17.5% of 882 points rounded to the nearest integer, which in this case is 154 points. So there you go. Really, the jury vote doesn't make a great deal of impact on anything. We saw this a couple of years ago with Windows 95 Man, because he was last in the jury vote, no surprises there, but won the public vote, and that was easily enough to see Windows 95 Man come out on top in that year's edition of UMK. So really, if you win the jury vote, fine. If you finish last in the jury vote, you can absolutely still win the event. No doubt about it. It's worth saying last year, Erika Wickman was second in the jury vote, but won the public vote very convincingly, and she ended up with over 100 points more than Goldilocks, who finished second. Anyway, long story short, getting back on track, Lululay is lovely. Harmless, enjoyable, fun, traditional, lovely. However, it ain't winning. I think we all know this isn't really in with much of a shot. I like it, but it's probably going to finish 4th or 5th. Perhaps. I did make a prediction, actually, a couple of weeks ago, but I don't have it in front of me. Just taking a look at the lyrics. This is a song about falling in love with somebody, I think. A restless moment in open country, a lake and a forest bound together. There is a reckless pounding in my chest. Your eyes glow with maroon hues. 100 times I looked for your gaze, 100 times I got to dance. Whether that's an accurate translation or not, I don't know. It does have it in Finnish here. Shall I try and pronounce it? Why not? Levoton hetki, lakeille mailla, järvi ja metsä kiinni toississaan. Rinnassa hakkaa rivatun lailla, sun silmissä hekku haiva kastanjaa. 100 kertaa katsisi hain, 100, and so on and so forth. Let's not embarrass myself. Anyway, that is song 1. Let me know your thoughts on Lululay, Lululay, and so on and so forth. Song 2 is Etta with $1 Million Smile. So here we have a young musician, born in 1997, so actually 28 years of age, still quite young, no doubt about it. She participated in Finland's Got Talent nearly 20 years ago, apparently. She was only 10 years old at the time, made it to the semi-finals, signed a record contract in 2018. She has had 3 albums, one of which went to #1 in Finland. She's released a whole bunch of songs. She's teamed up with various musicians as well. And this song charted at #3 in her homeland a few weeks ago, I believe. So $1 Million Smile, this is maybe the closest thing to sort of pop rap that we have in this lineup. So very different from Komiat. And there is a little bit of rapping in this track, and I'm always a bit wary of rapping because it's not really my thing. It can be a bit jarring. If it's in the middle of a song, it can feel very much out of place. And yet here, I actually don't mind it at all. It's very easy to go along with. The melody is fairly simplistic. I wouldn't say it's doing anything particularly brand new. She looks great. She sounds good. Let me take a look at the video clip here. So there she is, wearing this sort of brown corset thing, legs on display. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I think this is perhaps some sort of younger version of herself watching in this empty stadium. I'm not entirely sure. Let's take a look at the lyrics, shall we? If we can get them up. Here we go. When I grew up, I never got expensive gifts, but I got this far-carrying voice which takes me far. I learned to stand straight, I'm creative when needed, and that laughter is the best medicine. I see it as a 100-year-old. Mother says, dear, that smile you have turns rocks into gold. You'll make it anywhere. Yeah, it's essentially a song about, you know, empowerment, strength, achieving your goals, etc., etc. Yeah, what does it say here? Antaka mörkistulet tavaik palava huone, antaka leijonien luola ninsen halki juoksen, ja silloin kun mä kuolen vanhanatain nuoren, voit olla varma, et mä nauran sia mun kuolin vuotel. Okay, yeah, probably butchered that, but there we go, $1 Million Smile. Don't have a lot to say about it, but it's actually one of my favourites here, no doubt about it. It just feels, you know, fairly contemporary. It could be a hit in any country, including in the UK. Another strength of UMK is that these songs, you know, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them every year, I feel could be played on the radio in any country in Europe, could be a big hit anywhere in Europe. And if you're getting a lot of buzz outside of Finland, before UMK has even started, this is a really promising sign. And certainly it could open a lot of doors for you in terms of gaining international fans and all of that stuff. Anyway, that is $1 Million Smile by Etta. Song 3 is Rakkauden Kipi by Kiki, and the song title translates as Love Hurts, apparently. This song is co-written by Leo Salminen, who co-wrote Always on the Run for Germany 2 years ago. Kiki, whose real name is Arya Gavalas, she's part Greek, so there you go. She started making music a few years ago, one album, collaborated with a bunch of people as well. And this song, again, I don't really know how to describe it. I'm not a professional journalist at all, but it feels fairly dramatic. It builds up and builds up. The ending does remind me quite a bit of how Wasted Love by JJ, the winner last year, ends. Quite frantic stuff. Yeah, melancholic, but also you know that it has this power bubbling under the surface. It's not spilling over necessarily at any point, apart from perhaps the last 30 seconds or so. It's, yeah, it has this passion, but it's not really going for it, if you see what I mean, right from the very start. Now, if I take a look at the clip here, so there she is, looking great, with this fancy thing coming down over her face, this sort of, it's not a veil, but anyway. And then she's moving up some steps. Yeah, let's take a look at the lyrics for this one, shall we? Just really good stuff. Really good stuff. You know, the songs are just so much stronger than most of the songs in any other national final, once again this season. Quite incredible. Let's take a look here, not that website. Let's take a look here. Oh, love sick, apparently, is what it translates as. I get no sleep and my spirit is down, blah, blah, blah. Extremely lovesick, it's repeating your name, my heart extremely lovesick. Yeah, we've got that sort of echo in the chorus, which I think is particularly effective. I don't know how they're going to stage this, but I'm interested to see. What does it say here? Tartu tiukasti ja susta suuhun hengitä, sun isä voimaton mun pieni sydän on. Okay, please breathe from mouth to mouth. Hello. Okay. Yeah, it's a sort of heartfelt track, I guess. Describing how, you know, you can't really be without somebody, I suppose. Really, really lovely. And I know a lot of people really enjoy this one. However, there are stronger efforts in my opinion. There are songs that I think are going to stand out more from the field, and I just think this one might fall short of getting enough love to triumph this weekend. Song 4 is Takatukka by Antti Paalanen. So this is wildly different, and this guy is an accordionist. He was born in 1977 apparently, so he's in his mid to late 40s. He's worked with the National Theatre, various other theatre troupes as well. He's released a couple of albums, worked with a whole range of other musicians, and he's had a fairly successful career. And this is just... I think a lot of people expected this to be the jokey entry of this lineup. It sort of is, but at the same time, it's not that bad a song at all. Yeah, couple of dancers, he's wearing a white hat. There's this whole thing about hairdressing going on in this video. And his voice is very unique. It's very sort of deep and rough and very much sort of singing from the throat, if you see what I mean. This is perhaps the biggest challenger to Liekinheitin, which is the hot favourite, of course. Let's take a look at the lyrics here. It is catchy, but I'm very interested to see how they stage this, and also how he's going to sound live. Anyway, let's go fix that mop. Transform your soul and hair. Divine strands, yeah, comb them now, 1, 2, 3. And mullet, mullet, mullet. Does Takatuka mean mullet? That's what it says here in front of me. Ja Takatuka, 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 se on siinä tosi komia. Takatuka, 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 se on tässä mun filosofia. Maailman murhit ratkaisin, eistä ja sivuilta katkaisin. Takatuka, 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 ja huulilla kalupuikot. And a moustache like fish fingers, apparently. There we go. Very strange what's going on here, but he's having a good time, and I really don't have much more else to say about it. I think maybe some people are just viewing this as the jokey comic entry of the year. Some people maybe have concerns because we saw what happened with Windows 95 Man, won the public vote in UMK that year, and then in the Eurovision final in Malmö 2 years ago, didn't really fare that well at all. Could this song receive a similar fate? Should it go to Vienna? I don't know. For me, I was wary the first time I heard it. I thought this really isn't that strong. I can understand the appeal, absolutely. It is catchy. You can go along with it. But ultimately, I think it's probably going to fall short of victory. Then we have song 5. I'm wary this video is very long now. We have Cherry Cake by Chachi. Chachi, real name Olivia, was born in Texas in 1996, making her 30 years of age. She won the 6th season of America's Best Dance Crew well over a decade ago. She got married to a Finnish stunt performer some years ago, moved to Finland. Now she is taking part in UMK, of course. She also was on The Masked Singer Suomi in 2022, disguised as a party animal, apparently. She's appeared on various productions over the years in the States. She was also in a Meghan Trainor music video in 2014. I think this is the first time she's released a song. And this is high-tempo, sugary sweet. I've seen some people say it's a bit similar to K-pop music. That's not really my thing, so I don't really know if the comparisons are accurate or not. It's very, I suppose to some, perhaps very irritating, very grating, if you see what I mean. But it is fairly lively stuff. Let me take a look here. Not that one. Here we go. Yeah. So we've got TVs, cherries on them, kaleidoscopic patterns. Yeah, it's very sassy, quite fun. Sing along, chant like at times. Yeah, you can see that I'm not a professional journalist at all, but if we take a look at the lyrics here for this particular song. 1 cup of flour and lots of sugar, a ton of cherries and a lump of baking soda. Now whip that cream, put it in the oven. I guess that's the recipe. I don't know about you, but I think this is fairly suggestive of something else. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Think I forgot the eggs. Misread that tiny text. And now my home's a mess, but do I really care? Oh, I could cook and clean, but all of that just seems boring to me. I could do whatever. What does it say here? I'm no type of lady, making you a cherry cake. Yeah, maybe the lyrics aren't particularly fantastic here, but I don't think the lyrics matter a great deal in national finals, or indeed at Eurovision itself. Yeah, what else is there to say about it? I think there's going to be choreo, lots of flashing lights, maybe a bit of pyro, but I can actually see this really struggling in the jury vote, and I'm not sure the Finnish public are going to be massively on board with this either, but she does have quite the online following. So you never know, she really could get a pretty nice score indeed, but I don't think anybody's expecting her to be the winner. We move on. 2 more songs left, and I'm going to try and be brief. Sinikka Monte is next with Ready to Leave. This is just really lovely stuff. She's co-written this with Florian Spies. Born in 2002 in Scotland, apparently, raised in Austria, and is Finnish-South African. So talk about multicultural. Yeah, born in Kirkcaldy. How about that? Released a couple of singles in the past. Apparently inspired by Hannah Montana. Has listed Paris as one of her artists who's influenced her. Yes, indeed. That's pretty cool. Anyway, the unfortunate thing here is that as much as I think a lot of people do enjoy this song, we also know it's probably going to struggle significantly. Taking a look at the music clip here, she's in a bathroom. I don't know whether it's true or not, but a few people have said this is about domestic violence, apparently. Wanting to leave an abusive relationship, maybe not quite being able to. And there's a bath in this video, so maybe on stage perhaps we could create some sort of watery effect. Certainly this is going to need something special to really stand out from the field, because as much as it's a great song and very welcome in this lineup, like I just said, I think a lot of us are expecting this to probably finish last, certainly struggle significantly, and it's in between a very lively track and then the overwhelming favourite to win. If we take a look at the lyrics here briefly. Ready to Leave, here we go. Really lovely. I really like the slow progression in this track. A lot of people might think it doesn't really build up to much. I can understand that, but it's really lovely. What does it say here? We could be close, like you've been forgiven. I know it's my fault. I keep your hands busy, so you can't hurt me anymore. You can't hurt the way that matters, might hit a nerve. Why won't you tell me that you don't love me anymore? The want and the need, the wanting to leave. Yeah, this song definitely has a message to it, and hopefully a lot of people who maybe aren't too familiar with the lyrics of this track look at them and appreciate them before the competition takes place this weekend, because, yeah, really nice. Just feels fresh, feels so much stronger than a lot of the songs in other national finals. It really does. UMK sprinkling that magic everywhere it goes. That leaves, of course, Pette Parkkonen and Linda Lampenius. What a duo here. Linda Lampenius is 55, from Helsinki. She is a classical concert violinist. She, I think, appeared in Baywatch years ago. She's performed all over the world. A very, very notable star. No surprise that she was a model. She's definitely got quite a glamorous look, I would say. A sort of ice queen, long blonde hair, Reebok Who, that's old news. This is how a woman plays the violin, you know. All of that sort of stuff going on there. Really fantastic. What else does it say? Yeah, she's done a whole lot over the years. Performed and appeared all over the world for a long, long time. So, if anything, it's a bit of a coup that she's taking part in UMK. And really, in this song, Petter is obviously doing the singing, but Linda is giving this song its cutting edge. Because The violin in this track just sounds absolutely magical, almost heavenly. There is real power, there is real momentum, there is a real sense of fierceness to this track. And honestly, being the overwhelming favourite to win, you've got to come out on stage in Tampere this weekend and have that confidence and fierceness fully on display. You've got to come out and say to the viewers, yes, we're the favourites for good reason, have a load of this. And I'm expecting flames all around the stage, I'm expecting maybe a bit of pyro, flashing lights. This is an epic track, and I've seen a lot of people react to it on YouTube. A lot of people are really adoring this. It really is a fantastic song indeed. Liekin Heitin means flamethrower. Petter Parkkonen, he first appeared on Finnish Idol years ago. He's 36, bit of facial hair, curly hair, been making music for years, couple of albums, some hit singles as well. Born into a musical family. Lovely, absolutely terrific. Do I really need to take a look at this video? Yeah. It's got such rhythm, and then this frantic finale here, really very effective. That's when I expect all of the flames to be going around the stage, you know, really looking absolutely fantastic. Taking a look at the lyrics. My word, I'm really running out of steam here, do bear with me. Yes, flamethrower. Flying away would be best, but I still play with fire. How to freeze all your emotions if you are a flamethrower. What does it say here? Ois vi sampi haipi talt, mut tulel vielkin leikin, miten tunteet vois jaadita, kusa ut liekin heitin. Saat mut palamaan, saan sust palan vaan, ut nin kuuma mut ja kilma. Pariniltaan en sua kisa, voiko ihminen kuolla kiimaan. So on and so forth. Oh dear Lord, a second baptism please, if I sin once again. That's a great lyric. Yeah, this is just absolutely tremendous. And if Finland don't send this, I honestly think they're making quite a big mistake, because it just feels to me like the absolute most Eurovision ready of all of the songs. We don't know how it's going to be staged yet, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. It's going to really stand out a mile. The juries, I think, are going to go big for this. I think the Finnish public are going to go big for this. The song has already gone to #1 in Finland. Not that that necessarily means a great deal, but a lot of people are just so on board with this. And as I said at the start of this video, Finland are the favourites to win Eurovision at this moment in time, and it's because of this song. So it feels like a one-horse race, but every single song here is decent. Every single song here is pretty strong. It's a great national final, and every single track I think is going to stand out, tick a lot of the right boxes. I think anybody who's going to be there, I know Laura from Eurovision, I'm sure you're familiar with her channel here on YouTube, I know she's going to be there this weekend. She's going to have a great time, because she's going to see 7 great performances, and although it could be a completely one-sided result, a lot of these songs, I think, are still going to be very much enjoyed by Eurovision fans for a long, long time to come. UMK, once again, showing the best of Finland and Finnish music to the rest of Europe. And yeah, other countries really need to take notice of this, because they're doing an absolutely tremendous job. Year after year, they want to win. It shows. You've got to be in it to win it, and I think Finland absolutely are. If Liekin Heitin goes to Eurovision, it's the one to beat. I really think so. Anyway, that's enough. I totally ran out of steam in the last 10 minutes. I absolutely apologise. But there we go. My thoughts on UMK 2026. If you've stuck with me for nearly 40 minutes, I thank you a great deal. There will be more videos from me coming soon. Sanremo, I probably will make a video about that. I'm not entirely sure. We're getting the songs this evening. And yeah, it's a really busy week in the world of the contest. Anyway, until next time, take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Let me know your thoughts on UMK this year. And bye for now. Thanks for watching.